My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and document this. Ontario police have been all night long stalking by helicopter, doing so while I've been uploading 2022 documentation. This is what the entity is utilizing with regard to threatening me, harassing me while they're monitoring what it is that I'm publishing regarding this very criminal activity that I was subject to in July of 2022. This is evidence that the entity is engaging in what is increasing the harassment, such as the discriminatory bases upon malicious accusations that the Ovid Family Community Library, the City of Ontario, made up. And remember why they're doing that? Because they are indeed engaged in the criminal conspiracy to murder. Ovid Family Community Library is a gang stalker. And I use the resources in that library to publish the evidence, which is what I'm publishing now at the Upland Public Library. This is the evidence that the entity tried to delay me from publishing. This is speaking to people going to federal prison lying about me and conspiring my murder, such as Jason Fields and Tracy Banks and Eric Spencer. The entity that is gang stalking the Ontario Police Department. The entity that's kidnapping and defaming my character. The entity that's profiting off of my demise. The Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. I just want to document this video. The Ontario Police Department, about 4 minutes earlier than this, stalking me by crossing paths just like they did now on this side of the building. Doing so while I have been publishing, I'm going to publish more video documentation tomorrow, but while I've been uploading and preparing to publish July 2022 documentation, the Ontario Police Department has been, since I arrived back in Ontario at approximately 8:15 p.m., 8:20 p.m., the Ontario Police Department, upon me getting my documentation prepared for publishing, ongoing harassment and stalking by helicopter, which I ignored. These are demons that are begging me for attention, just like I document at the Stater Brothers. They are so desperate. They are begging for attention while they are stalking in such an obvious manner, which is very foolish with regard to a criminal case. But why is it that they are doing that? Okay, this is the entity that's going to be prosecuted nonetheless for their severely mentally ill behaviors. It is currently 12:42 a.m. on what is Friday, March 20th, 2026. This is the time where the entities is showing you that they are stalking me 24 hours a day. And as they are also showing you from city to city, Marcelo, Blanco, and Mike Lorenz are sharing in that ongoing conspiracy to commit murder, stalking me, and doing so in the most absurdly psychotic and extreme, terrorizing, harassing, and psychologically torturous means, which is speaking to stalking me by helicopters with the population. Okay, and I want to be clear, the entity is doing so tonight, overnight, while I've been preparing to publish 2022. This is the entity that's engaged in what is ongoing threatening behavior while I publish that evidence that is going on the internet. And it's going toward what is going to be federal time for all the people involved. This is P.O.C. This is the answer. Remember, I'm on Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, where this airport is stalking me. And it's not the first time that the Ontario International Airport has been stalking me by commercial planes in adjacent cities. This is the entity gang stalking me at the Ontario Town Square in Ontario, California. And this airport follows me up and down Euclid Avenue as I go up north. And they're flying miles away from the airport to stalk me in commercial planes here. Okay, so what I documented yesterday, the entity gang stalking me while I'm at Upland, California and North Euclid Avenue. This is the entity that's showing you how far that they're going to engage in what is stalking using commercial airline planes to do cartwheels. Fly in relevant position where I'm at and fly back in the opposite direction, doing so while the people of the state are stalking where they live as they travel. All right, they're maintaining presence all around in the engineered environment. This is the entity that's maintaining the specific environment. He's got a shadow behind him, a shadow in front of him. His shadow, that's light activity. You see the shadow appearing around. This is monitoring. This is P.O.C. And the airport is stalking at 5:21 in the morning. 224 North Euclid Avenue. This is P.O.C. That airport's being shut down. And this is where the Ontario Police Department were stalking me at 12 o'clock in the morning. Okay? That police department's being disbanded. This is P.O.C. This is P.O.C. It's 9:06 a.m. Remember, Upland police are also stalking me in Ontario at 537 North Euclid Avenue at 9 a.m. The entity is doing this under the fake sun that remains at the Upland Public Library. This is where Bill Velto is going to be removed from office. The Upland City Hall is a gang stalker. They're engaged in state surveillance. They're engaged in the perpetual sex offense, that is vagina monitoring. There are demons that are using helicopters to engage in terrorism. They're doing so while they're engaged in federal stalking under Title 18, okay? He's a serial stalker. He's a psychopath. He is routinely coming around pacing under the fake sun with the Upland Police Department that are monitoring with him, by him. He represents. This is the entity on the roads and engaged in psychopathic pacing along Euclid Avenue. All right, they're doing the fake sun, which at this same entrance is still here, as I'm documenting. I've documented historically, but I've also documented as of late. After 4:10 p.m., the fake sun is still here, and it's over this entrance. This is letting you know what is wrong with the current terrorist leader over the Upland Police Department, Marcelo Blanco. Okay, this is the P.O.C. This is the entity engaged in that pattern of conduct. This is stalking light. This is a method of that. Right here. And this is the terrorism that the Upland Police Department are engaging in while I'm walking on Euclid Avenue yesterday evening. And this, you're mindful of the fake sun that's over this Upland Public Library where I'm capturing engineer light, which is, again, it's engineer light because it's not sunlight, because the sun is not what is causing light to manifest through the windows above this building. When you're seeing engineer light cycling all around after 3, 4, 5, and the fake sun is still here, it's not the sun, okay? Marcelo Blanco is a gang stalker. He's a terrorist, and I'm going to prosecute the city of Upland. I'm going to prosecute the people of the state, which is the entity that's maintaining the criminal pattern of conduct. It's currently 9:08 a.m. See how the fake sun's just moving along? Ontario, Upland Police and Ontario Police share this illness. They're demons that are gang stalking, and so are the people. The fake sun is over the people of the state that are gang stalking. This is the people of the state stalking in the path. This is a mentally ill psychopath that's stalking as the entity, okay? The Upland Police are engaging in domestic terrorism. Looks like we've got the same venue that's engaged in what is waging false allegations, kidnapping with the Upland Police Department, gang stalking with that Upland Police Department. That's what's getting out of that black vehicle. Her name is Carissa. Historically gang stalking. That's the basis of federal prison. This is surveillance in the parking lot. This is the company engaged in psychopathic pacing in and out of the Upland City Hall. The company that's monitoring with the city of Upland, gang stalking with the Upland City Hall right here. I took pictures of it, and then the entity is stalking by helicopter. The city of Upland is gang stalking by this third-party company. I'm going to prosecute GM P.O.C. You'll recall the documentation of the city of Upland gang stalking me by helicopter right here on Arrow in the middle of the afternoon, where this fake sun that is over me right now at 9:11 a.m., daylight savings time or not, will never reconcile the video evidence, which is going to serve to remove Bill Velto, prosecute for kidnapping, disband the Upland Police, prosecute the people of the state who are domestic terrorists engaging in state surveillance, the conspiracy to murder an American citizen, while they're engaging in also keeping the evidence under surveillance, because I am the first to document and prosecute the U.S. government for this. This entity is stalking me by helicopter right here on this street, where the entity is engaged, what Marcelo Blanco is engaging in, what his predecessor is also engaging in as a matter of record. And moving to or transferring to a different department is not changing. San Bernardino police are gang stalking anyway. So I'm talking about the chief, the terrorist leader that is that is preceding Marcelo Blanco, and is now engaged in gang stalking over the San Bernardino Police Department that is still engaged in the pattern of conduct. So this is speaking to that, but nonetheless, you're seeing the fake sun here in my documentation, which I will attach to this video. The Upland Police Department are gang stalking right here on this street, where the ongoing demonic pattern of conduct is underway in the middle of the afternoon. Okay, that's speaking to the specific environment where the Upland Police are engaged in domestic terrorism, and they want you to know. That's why you would be so foolish to provide this level of evidence against yourselves, against the population who are serving in that same criminal pattern of conduct. Vagina monitoring is what Carissa's engaged in. Carissa is the state actor that's in her vehicle, monitoring me with the Upland Police, flying over that Upland library where she's gang stalking as a matter of employment, and sharing in what is criminal summoning, ongoing harassment, psychological torture. She's a vagina monitor, and she's doing so on behalf of Marcelo Blanco, okay, who has no legitimate interest in my